New polls out nationwide and in some swing states, and they do not look good for President Obama. First of all, when you include all the voters, including the undecided voters right now, President Obama is losing 47 to 46. Now, if you take out the undecided voters, he's losing by even more. He's losing by 3 points. Now, he was recently leading by 3 points, and then it was a tie, and now all of a sudden he's trailing. So wait a minute, his attacks against Bain seem to have been working, and we don't just say that because that's our analysis, but because there was polling in swing states saying that people thought now Mitt Romney's business record was more of a liability. They were less likely to vote for him because of his business record, which is what he was mainly running on. And in fact, they said that they thought his time at Bain was for him and others to make a lot of money, not to create jobs. Again, one of the principal parts of Romney's campaign. So the fact that those attacks are working and President Obama is still in a lot of trouble shows you, of course, how overwhelmingly important the state of the economy is to the state of the election. In fact, when asked about the handling of the economy by the president, we got some really bad numbers. Now, it was not positive back in April. It was 44 to 48 against. But in July, it's horrible. It's now turned to 39 for, 55 against. That is a giant 16-point difference. It is really hard for a president to win re-election if you're looking at a 16-point gap on how you're handling the economy, and of course matches people's view of the economy overall. They were a little bit more optimistic back in April. They're less optimistic now, and they're turning around and saying, I guess that's the president's doing. In fact, when you ask the question who would do a better job in handling the economy, Mitt Romney wins handily, 49 to 41 at this point, even though, when asked specifically about Mitt Romney, they rate him as unfavorable. They don't have a lot of trust in him. But nonetheless, they go, look, the economy's bad. The president is in charge. I guess I'm going to go with the other guy. So this is fairly devastating news for President Obama's camp. Now, Obama's favorability, this is really surprising. That's down significantly too. Surprisingly so. I almost can't believe this number. It's 36%. But this is a New York Times CBS News poll. They viewed him 36 saying favorably, 48% saying unfavorable. Those are bad numbers. So now, one other thing that almost none of the other outlets are talking about, it's at the very end of the New York Times article, but I think it's also a huge part of why people are frustrated with the president. They asked an interesting question in this poll. Do you think President Obama delivered on his promise of change? 58% said he had not delivered. Not just on economic stuff, not just on anything, but on the idea that he was going to change the way Washington works. Now, this is exactly what we've been saying on this program for now, unfortunately, a long time. Saying, look, you told people that you were going to get rid of the corruption of the lobbyists giving the money and then obviously getting favors in return. And you didn't do anything about it. So what they see is a corrupted system where no matter who wins, the rich get richer, as they did in these years under President Obama, and the poor get poorer. Do you know that the median income in this country from 2007 to 2010 dropped by 38%? Now, that, of course, includes the Republican reign under George Bush and President Obama. In fact, in 2010, as we were beginning to have a recovery, 93% of the wealth in that recovery, the extra additional wealth, went to the top 1%. 93%! That is a bigger chunk of the recovery going to the rich than under any other president. See, the principal problem that President Obama has is not one of perception. It's that he didn't fix the economy because he chose Republican corporatist strategy, which was a lot of tax cuts, giving everything to the bankers, continuing the bailouts, not prosecuting any of the bankers, and giving the same advantages to the 1% that the Republicans were. He chose a center-right strategy that was the wrong strategy. And now the voters are thinking, well, then we should punish him for it. So he went in the wrong direction. Because of that, we didn't recover. The top 1% recovered. And you think the top 1% want to thank President Obama? No. They want to turn around and spit in his eye anyway. Now, the unfortunate part of all of this is that if in spite meaning like being angry at President Obama. They go, you know what? Since you didn't give me the change, I'm going to go in the other direction and vote for Romney? The problem is Romney would take Bush and Obama's economic policy and put it on an extra level of steroids.